My Wicked Stepfather.
The harmattan winds of the eastern countryside carried the scent of dry earth as I stood by the window, staring at the narrow path leading to our compound. It was quiet, but my heart wasn't. My mother had warned me to be careful around my stepfather, Chijiok, but I never imagined his cruelty would seep into every corner of our lives. When my mother married him 3 years ago, she believed his charm and promises of stability. A good man, she called him. But my stepfather's kindness lasted only until the wedding feast was over. Soon after, he revealed a temper as sharp as the machete he carried. I was 13 then, old enough to understand his disdain for me. While he adored his biological son, Namdi, he treated me, Amara, as an intruder. I became the house drudge, scrubbing the compound, fetching firewood, and pounding yam while Namdi roamed freely with friends. One day, Chijiok's wrath boiled over. My mother was late returning from the market, and he accused her of squandering his money. He slapped her so hard she fell against the clay wall. My heart raced as I rushed to her side, but his voice thundered, "Stay back, Amara, unless you want the same." I clenched my fists, tears blurring my vision. That night, as my mother nursed her bruises, I whispered, "We can leave, Mother. Let's go to Uncle Uche in the city." But fear flickered in her eyes. "Amara," she said, "where would we go without money? Who will take us in? Be patient, my child." Patience was a bitter remedy, but I swallowed it. Yet as months passed I plotted. Chijiok had a habit of sneaking palm wine into the house and leaving half-empty bottles in the shed. One evening, I overheard him boasting to a neighbor about a land dispute he planned to settle the following morning. That night, I crept to the shed and poured sand into his favorite sandals. The next morning, I watched him storm off, cursing as he shook the stubborn grains from his footwear. While Chijiok was gone, my mother and I packed what little we had. I sold 2 of his unused yam tubers at the market earlier and hid the money in my wrapper. With it, we boarded a rickety bus to Uncle Uche's house in Enugu. It wasn't an easy journey. Uncle Uche frowned upon our sudden arrival, but my mother's tears softened his heart. He took us in and helped her secure a job at a small tailoring shop. Years later, as I stood in my own classroom as a teacher, I realized my stepfather's wickedness had not broken me, it had shaped me. My mother smiled more now, her laughter no longer stifled by fear. We never looked back. The East had its share of storms, but it also held the sunrise. And with each new day, my mother and I built a new life far from my stepfather's shadow. The end.